Welcome to our channel. We are so glad you found your way here. Let us help you fall asleep. Let's begin with the quiet collapse of AltaVista, the failure and obsolescence of the early search engine. Take a slow, deep breath in and release it. Even the tallest towers eventually quiet down. Tonight, we gently explore the empty boardrooms and forgotten ambitions of the past. Your mind is calm, and we are ready to begin. Born in the early 1990s, AltaVista emerged as a pioneering search engine designed to index the growing expanse of the internet. It was launched in 1995 by a team at Digital Equipment Corporation with a vision to create a tool that could efficiently navigate the chaos of online information. The developers prioritized speed and comprehensiveness, believing that a search engine could serve as a gateway to the knowledge of the world. Utilizing innovative technology, it offered users the ability to search by keywords, a remarkable advancement compared to its contemporaries. This search engine indexed millions of web pages, becoming one of the first to provide near-instantaneous results. The architecture behind it was robust, allowing for advanced search capabilities that included Boolean operators and natural language queries. This commitment to user experience established a solid foundation and attracted a loyal user base. As the internet continued to expand, the founders envisioned AltaVista as not merely a search engine, but as an essential tool for information retrieval. They emphasized accuracy and relevance, striving to refine algorithms that would cater to the ever-increasing demand for information. This initial momentum fostered a sense of optimism and potential, setting the stage for what many believed would be a lasting legacy in the digital landscape. The pioneering days of search engines were characterized by rudimentary algorithms and limited capabilities. Early systems like Archie and Gopher emerged in the late 1980s, designed primarily to index files and provide basic access to information scattered across the nascent internet. These platforms laid the groundwork, establishing a need for more sophisticated methods of information retrieval. As the 90s progressed, a surge of innovation was witnessed. Lycos and WebCrawler joined the ranks, offering keyword searches and a more structured approach to navigating the web. User demand grew, reflecting an insatiable thirst for knowledge and connectivity. This period saw the introduction of relevance ranking, enhancing the quality of results and setting new standards for user experience. The rise of directories, such as Yahoo, also marked a significant shift. Human-curated listings provided a semblance of organization, yet they were constrained by scalability. This limitation soon became evident as the internet expanded exponentially. The relentless influx of new content called for automated solutions, driving the evolution towards more advanced search algorithms. By the time AltaVista entered the scene, the landscape was ripe for disruption. The early foundations established by these initial search engines had created a fertile ground, one that demanded innovation and efficiency. The stage was set for a new era, one that would. The founding team comprised individuals whose vision transcended the conventional landscape of online search. Among them was Paul Flaherty, a visionary who recognized the potential for a more efficient search mechanism. His technical acumen would set the groundwork for a platform that aimed to index the growing expanse of digital information. Alongside him, John Gage contributed his expertise, having previously shaped innovations at Sun Microsystems. Their collaborative efforts merged creativity with engineering precision, establishing a foundation built on ambition. This region of technological optimism fostered an environment where experimentation thrived. Other key figures, such as Michael Moritz, played instrumental roles in securing initial funding, which propelled AltaVista to the forefront of search technology during the early 1990s. Their collective background in computer science and entrepreneurship provided the ideal blend needed to navigate the complexities of emerging internet systems. With a pioneering algorithm capable of processing vast amounts of data, they propelled AltaVista into prominence. The site quickly became synonymous with speed and efficiency, attracting millions of users. This surge seemed indicative of a shift in the digital landscape, where users began to seek more than just basic information retrieval. The early successes, however, obscured underlying challenges as competition began to intensify, illustrating the precarious nature of technological dominance in an ever-evolving market. The launch of AltaVista marked a significant moment in the history of the internet, introducing a search engine that promised efficiency and speed. This innovation was propelled by advanced technology, allowing users to navigate the burgeoning web with a newfound ease. As people flocked to the platform, it quickly became a favored tool, facilitating access to previously elusive information. The intuitive interface presented a stark contrast to the complexities of prior search systems, heralding a new era in online exploration. In its early days, AltaVista established a reputation for comprehensiveness, indexing an impressive volume of web pages. It attracted users who sought accuracy and relevancy in their search results, creating an expanding user base that contributed to its early momentum. This surge in popularity not only highlighted the demand for effective search solutions, but also set the stage for the competitive landscape that lay ahead. Despite this initial success, the landscape was shifting. Rivals emerged, armed with innovations that threatened to eclipse AltaVista's prominence. The tension between maintaining technological leadership and responding to evolving user expectations became increasingly palpable. As the digital world transformed, the once celebrated search engine faced mounting pressure, revealing the vulnerabilities inherent in rapid growth and technological advancement. Technological innovations played a pivotal role in establishing the early search engine's reputation. Its search algorithm distinguished it from contemporaries by prioritizing relevance and speed. This approach attracted users and encouraged them to explore the vastness of the internet, enhancing their experience significantly. With indexed pages numbering in the millions, it offered a sense of empowerment, allowing individuals to navigate an otherwise chaotic digital landscape. Many users found the search results to be more accurate and nuanced, a feat achieved through advanced techniques, including natural language processing and sophisticated ranking systems. The ability to process queries efficiently set it apart during a time when competitors struggled to keep pace. The promise of a user-friendly interface combined with powerful back-end technology created an initial sense of loyalty among its audience. The advancements in search technology contributed to its early dominance, fostering a perception of reliability. Users began to rely on it for information retrieval, cementing its status in the rapidly evolving online ecosystem. Yet, with changing user expectations and the emergence of new players, this reliance would soon be tested. The relentless pace of innovation in the tech sector demanded adaptability, a quality that proved challenging to maintain. User experience in the early 1990s presented a labyrinthine challenge for users navigating the burgeoning internet landscape. Amidst the excitement of newfound digital possibilities, the interface design of early search engines often felt rudimentary, lacking the intuitive flow that modern users have come to expect. AltaVista, among the pioneers, offered a glimpse of potential through its advanced searching capabilities, yet the experience remained marred by limitations in usability. Visitors encountered text-heavy interfaces with a stark absence of visual guidance. The absence of comprehensive design principles rendered information retrieval cumbersome. The search results were often overwhelming, displaying a plethora of links without clear differentiation or categorization. Users frequently found themselves sifting through irrelevant content, a task made arduous by the primitive algorithms that struggled to deliver precision. This environment fostered frustration among users who yearned for simplicity amidst the complexity. As their expectations evolved, the inadequacies of early search engines became increasingly apparent. A growing awareness of user-centric design principles began to take root, emphasizing the need for seamless interaction and intuitive navigation. With the rapid expansion of the internet, competition intensified. Emerging platforms began to recognize the importance of user experience, implementing designs that prioritized clarity and ease of use. The decline of AltaVista was not merely a reflection of its technological shortcomings, but also a symptom of a broader, evolving understanding of what users desired from their digital interactions. In its early years, AltaVista distinguished itself through its sophisticated web crawling technology, which allowed it to index vast swathes of the nascent internet. This capability set it apart from competitors, enabling users to access a more comprehensive range of information. The ambitious approach to crawling transformed the way data was collected and organized, laying the groundwork for subsequent advancements in search technology. Web crawlers, integral to AltaVista's operations, meticulously traversed the digital landscape, extracting content from a multitude of websites. Each index page contributed to a growing database, presenting users with unparalleled results for their queries. This meticulous indexing process represented a significant leap forward in search engine functionality, enhancing user experience during a time when the internet was rapidly expanding. The sheer volume of data processed by these crawlers showcased a commitment to thoroughness. This commitment fostered an environment where information retrieval became increasingly efficient, paving the way for users to navigate the complexities of the early web. The index itself was a marvel of engineering, capable of handling millions of pages while maintaining speed and relevance in search results. As the demand for more refined and intuitive search methods evolved, the limitations of this early indexing strategy became apparent. User expectations grew, and what once was revolutionary soon faced obsolescence, marking the beginning of the end for AltaVista. The user interface of AltaVista was emblematic of a time when simplicity and functionality reigned supreme. This design philosophy facilitated seamless navigation, allowing users to input queries with ease. The minimalist layout emphasized utility over aesthetics, reflecting the era's primary focus on delivering accurate search results rather than an engaging visual experience. Users could quickly access various features, including an image search option, which set it apart from other platforms of its time. Despite these advantages, it became evident that evolving user preferences demanded more than just a straightforward interface. Competing search engines began to incorporate advanced features and visually appealing designs, catering to a generation of users increasingly accustomed to dynamic online experiences. As the internet matured, the static nature of AltaVista's interface started to feel antiquated. This region of technological evolution saw the rise of interactive elements and personalized content, which further marginalized platforms like AltaVista. Users sought engagement and interactivity, a need that the fading company struggled to fulfill. The once celebrated simplicity, while initially a strength, transitioned into a limitation. It became clear that in the fast-paced digital landscape, the inability to adapt and innovate would. The first major search engine, AltaVista, once occupied a prominent position within the burgeoning online frontier. This platform emerged in 1995, heralded for its speed and advanced indexing capabilities. By offering users a more comprehensive search experience, it quickly captured the attention of a growing internet audience. Many viewed it as a revolutionary tool, allowing users to sift through vast quantities of data with remarkable efficiency. In its early years, AltaVista thrived amidst a competitive atmosphere. The rise of the World Wide Web propelled it into the spotlight, and its innovative features set a high standard for search engines. Users celebrated the capability to search multimedia content alongside traditional text, a feature that distinguished it from contemporaries. The company attracted millions, establishing a loyal user base that relied on its services for navigation in an expanding digital landscape. Despite this initial success, challenges emerged as competitors entered the arena. The introduction of Google in 1998 marked a pivotal shift. With its focus on simplicity and powerful algorithms, this newcomer began to dominate the market. AltaVista's response was hampered by its inability to evolve, leading to a gradual decline in relevance. The once celebrated platform, now a relic of its former glory, serves as a poignant reminder of the relentless pace of technological advancement and the ephemeral nature of success in the digital age. Rapid adoption marked the early days of this platform, capturing the attention of users who were drawn to its innovative capabilities. With its advanced search algorithms, it provided a level of efficiency that was previously unseen, allowing individuals to sift through the growing expanse of information on the internet. This surge in popularity was reflected in usage statistics, as millions flocked to the service, presenting a sharp contrast to the early, less efficient search options available at the time. The intuitive interface and speed of results resonated with a diverse demographic, establishing a user base that spanned various interests and professions. It quickly became a go-to resource for both casual users and professionals seeking reliable information. In the midst of this technological evolution, AltaVista stood as a beacon of progress, shaping the way people interacted with the burgeoning internet landscape. Investment flowed into the company, fueling further innovations and expansions. Partnerships with content providers enhanced its offerings, solidifying its position as a leader in the search engine market. This early success was characterized by a sense of optimism and potential, a feeling that the platform could continue to evolve and adapt to the rapidly changing digital ecosystem. Yet beneath the surface of this initial triumph, the seeds of future challenges began to take root, signaling the start of a slow decline. Innovative marketing strategies played a critical role in capturing user attention during its early years. The search engine emerged with a promise of speed and efficiency, appealing to the burgeoning internet population in the mid-1990s. By emphasizing its advanced algorithms and comprehensive indexing capabilities, it distinguished itself from competitors. Advertisements portrayed a vision of empowerment, as users were invited to explore the vastness of the internet with ease. Promotional campaigns leveraged partnerships with popular web portals, ensuring visibility across the digital landscape. This approach not only increased traffic, but also fostered a sense of community among early adopters. Word of mouth became a powerful tool as satisfied users shared their positive experiences, further enhancing its reputation. A focus on user experience guided the design philosophy, prioritizing simplicity and speed. The uncluttered interface resonated with users, making online navigation feel more intuitive. Seasonal promotions and sponsored content aimed to maintain user engagement, reflecting an understanding of market dynamics. Yet, as competitors began to emerge, the once unique selling propositions lost their impact. The strategies that had initially captivated users became overshadowed by the rapid evolution of technology and shifting consumer preferences. This gradual erosion of market share marked the beginning of a deeper struggle for relevance in an increasingly crowded field. Venture capital played a pivotal role in fueling AltaVista's growth during its formative years. This financial backing enabled rapid development, allowing innovative features to be introduced and market presence to be established. Initial investments created an environment ripe for technological advancements, including the introduction of advanced algorithms and an expansive index system. The influx of capital provided the resources necessary for recruitment, attracting some of the brightest minds in the field. These talents contributed to a competitive edge that initially set it apart from contemporaries. The quest for expansion led to a series of strategic decisions that, while ambitious, the venture capital landscape itself began to shift, with investors becoming increasingly wary of the burgeoning competition. As the market evolved, so too did the demands placed upon AltaVista. The once promising financial lifeline transformed into a double-edged sword, underscoring vulnerabilities that would later contribute to its decline. Competitors emerged, reshaping the digital landscape that this fading company once dominated. Yahoo made its debut, offering a directory-style approach that attracted a diverse user base. This new model provided a sense of organization that users found appealing, enabling them to navigate the vast online world with ease. Meanwhile, Lycos and InfoSec entered the fray, each bringing unique features that further fragmented a once unified market. These rivals capitalized on the evolving preferences of internet users, who sought not just search capabilities, but also a more engaging experience. By integrating community features, news, and entertainment, they created a holistic environment that drew attention away from traditional search engines. The pivot towards user-centered design marked a significant shift, leaving AltaVista struggling to keep pace with the innovation and adaptability of its competitors. The gradual decline in user engagement became evident as traffic dwindled and advertising revenue followed suit. This deterioration illustrated a stark reality. While AltaVista had been a pioneer, the relentless march of progress rendered it obsolete. Search queries that once flowed steadily through its servers diminished, replaced by an increasing reliance on the user-friendly interfaces of emerging competitors. These developments solidified a new order in the search engine realm, further entrenching the challenges that the once dominant entity would face in the years to come. Advanced search options and the implementation of Boolean logic set this entity apart during its prime. Users were drawn to the capability of refining inquiries through complex queries, allowing for a level of precision that many competitors struggled to provide. This feature appealed to researchers, academics, and early internet enthusiasts who sought more than mere keyword matches. The ability to include operators such as and, or, and not unlocked new dimensions of information retrieval, making it a tool for serious inquiry rather than a casual browsing experience. These functionalities fostered a dedicated user base that appreciated the depth and sophistication of the interface. Despite this, a gradual shift in user preferences began to emerge. The simplicity of competing platforms started to resonate more with the general public, who favored user-friendly designs over intricate search mechanics. The advanced offerings, once a hallmark of innovation, began to feel cumbersome, alienating those who sought immediate results. In this shifting landscape, the fading company struggled to adapt. While the initial promise of enhanced search capabilities marked a significant milestone in information access, it also became a double-edged sword. What had once attracted users now became a barrier to entry, reflecting how quickly technological paradigms can shift. As the years progressed, it became evident that the landscape had moved on, leaving the once prominent search engine in its wake. The impact of AltaVista on information retrieval was substantial during its peak. It introduced a level of sophistication and speed that many had not experienced before. This search engine leveraged innovative algorithms, enabling users to sift through vast amounts of data with ease. The design allowed for the indexing of multiple pages simultaneously, a feat that set it apart from its contemporaries. This feature attracted a burgeoning user base eager for efficiency in a rapidly expanding digital world. Despite its initial triumphs, the rise of competitors rapidly eclipsed its advancements. Newer platforms began incorporating user-friendly features that enhanced the search experience, such as personalized results and advanced filtering options. As these alternatives emerged, the once revolutionary aspects of AltaVista began to feel antiquated. Users who once relied heavily on this search engine gradually shifted their preferences towards services that evolved with their needs. The decline of AltaVista coincided with the maturation of the internet. The proliferation of content demanded more from search technologies, and the fading company struggled to adapt. By the time it was acquired in the early 2000s, it had already lost much of its relevance. This transition marked not just the end of a search engine, but also highlighted the relentless pace of innovation within the tech landscape, what was once a leader. User demographics reveal a diverse yet niche audience, primarily comprised of tech-savvy individuals and early adopters. These users often sought a more efficient means of navigating the burgeoning internet landscape. Many were students, researchers, and professionals, drawn to the platform's robust search capabilities, which promised more relevant results compared to its contemporaries. The analytical nature of these users tended to favor a more utilitarian approach to the web, valuing speed and efficiency over the user experience that would later dominate the industry. The appeal of AltaVista extended to those exploring academic databases and niche content, as the search engine provided access to a wide range of indexed material. It became a tool for information gathering, favored by those who prioritized depth and breadth in their online inquiries. This particular demographic was instrumental in shaping early expectations of search technology, pushing for innovations that would redefine the way information was accessed. As time passed, a shift began to occur. The rapid evolution of user preferences led to a broader audience emerging, one that demanded simplicity and intuitiveness. This transition marked the beginning of a gradual decline in relevance for the once prominent search engine. Competing platforms began to cater to an expanding user base, drawing attention away from the fading company and its original supporters. The landscape of digital information would soon change irrevocably. This transformation marked the beginning of a shift toward commercialization within digital platforms. The introduction of advertisements became a prominent feature, fundamentally altering the nature of user experience. Early search engines, including AltaVista, began to adapt to this new reality. The once straightforward quest for information became intertwined with commercial interests, influencing the algorithms that determined search results. In this climate, user engagement shifted as advertising revenue grew paramount. Companies sought to capture attention through increasingly intrusive advertisements, leading to a decline in the purity of the search experience. Users found themselves navigating a maze of sponsored links and targeted ads, often struggling to discern between genuine content and commercial messages. This environment fostered discontent among users seeking unbiased information. As competitors began to refine their advertising strategies, AltaVista struggled to keep pace. The once innovative platform faced challenges in maintaining relevance amid the rapid evolution of the search engine landscape. The introduction of pay-per-click models further exacerbated the situation, emphasizing profit over user satisfaction. This reorientation diverted focus from enhancing search capabilities, leaving it vulnerable to emerging rivals that offered cleaner, more efficient alternatives. The combination of commercialization and technological advancements led to a gradual decline in AltaVista's user base. In this region of digital history, obsolescence loomed as a silent specter. Business model challenges emerged as the primary obstacle for its continued growth. The concept of monetizing search effectively was still in its infancy, leaving it vulnerable to competition. Advertisers were hesitant to invest significantly in a platform that lacked proven revenue generation strategies. The absence of a clear framework for integrating ads into search results created a paradox. The more users it attracted, the more critical monetization became. Innovation in advertising models remained elusive. Traditional banner ads had begun to saturate the internet, yet their effectiveness in search remained untested. This uncertainty hindered potential partnerships with advertisers seeking measurable returns on investment. Confusion also arose as users navigated the balance between organic search results and paid placements. Trust was fragile, and users began to question the integrity of the results presented. As competition intensified, alternative search engines capitalized on more refined models, emphasizing user experience and seamless integration of advertisements. They demonstrated that monetization could be achieved without alienating the user base. The pressure to adapt was immense, yet the inability to pivot swiftly left it at a disadvantage. This stagnation gradually eroded user loyalty and market share, illustrating the perilous nature of innovation in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. The once promising platform found itself grappling with an identity crisis, struggling to redefine its place in the marketplace. The acquisition by Compaq in 1997 marked a significant turning point in AltaVista's journey. This strategic move was initially perceived as a means to bolster the search engine's capabilities and expand its reach within the burgeoning internet landscape. Resources became available, intended to enhance technological advancements and improve user experience. Yet, the impact of this merger was not as favorable as envisioned. Integration into a larger corporate structure often stifles innovation, and this was evident in the evolving dynamics of AltaVista. Decisions became increasingly influenced by corporate priorities, diverting focus from the user-centered advancements that had initially driven its success. Emphasis shifted from pioneering new search technologies to aligning with Compact's broader business strategies, which were themselves experiencing turbulence in the fast-evolving tech environment. The competitive landscape began to shift dramatically. Emerging search engines, equipped with more agile algorithms and user-friendly interfaces, started to capture the attention of a growing online audience. User expectations evolved, adapting to the rapid advancements in technology that AltaVista, under the constraints of its corporate parent, struggled to meet. Declining user engagement became apparent. Metrics indicative of its market position showed a gradual erosion of its once dominant share. What had begun as a promising venture now faced the quiet inevitability of obsolescence, overshadowed by competitors who embraced innovation and adaptation. Integration proved challenging as the once independent entity was absorbed into the larger Compact framework. The complexities of merging cultures, processes, and technologies created friction that stifled innovation. This region, once vibrant with ideas and creativity, began to show signs of stagnation. Employees, accustomed to a startup mentality, found themselves navigating the bureaucratic labyrinth of a corporate giant, leading to a gradual erosion of morale. Technical integration presented its own difficulties. Legacy systems clashed with modern infrastructure, resulting in inefficiencies that further hindered performance. The search engine, once heralded for its speed and relevance, struggled to maintain its edge in a rapidly evolving landscape. Resources that had previously fueled its growth were now allocated based on rigid corporate mandates, limiting experimentation and responsiveness to market dynamics. Leadership faced criticism for its inability to harness the full potential of AltaVista's technology. Visionaries who had once driven innovations found their voices muted within the larger corporate structure. As priorities shifted, the original mission of delivering superior search results faded into the background, replaced by an emphasis on short-term financial metrics. The rapid expansion of the internet in the late 1990s ushered in an era of unprecedented growth for many technology companies. This region became a breeding ground for innovation, yet it also fostered an environment rife with speculation. AltaVista, initially a pioneer in the search engine domain, found itself swept up in the euphoria of the dot-com bubble. The allure of rapid profits and soaring stock prices led to inflated expectations that were. Investors were drawn to the promise of the new digital frontier, often prioritizing hype over sound business practices. Instead of focusing on refining its algorithms or enhancing user experience, it became increasingly engrossed in competing for market share, sometimes at the expense of foundational elements that had once defined its success. Advertising revenues surged, but the underlying model proved fragile as competitors entered the fray with more agile approaches and innovative technologies. As the bubble began to deflate, the repercussions were swift and unforgiving. Valuations plummeted, and countless companies, including AltaVista, faced the harsh reality of a market correction. Resources dwindled, and the once thriving search engine struggled to maintain relevance amidst emerging giants. The decline marked a significant turning point as the priorities of the industry shifted and the landscape transformed. Technological stagnation became apparent as innovations in search algorithms and user interfaces began to outpace the capabilities of AltaVista. This once trailblazing platform, known for its speed and comprehensive indexing, struggled to adapt to the rapidly evolving demands of users. Competitors emerged with more sophisticated technologies, employing advanced techniques such as natural language processing and machine learning. They offered not only enhanced search results, but also personalized user experiences, leaving the fading company in a state of disarray. Internal challenges compounded the situation. Leadership faced difficulties in maintaining a clear vision, resulting in fragmented initiatives and inconsistent development priorities. Resource allocation became increasingly inefficient as teams pursued disparate projects rather than focusing on cohesive improvements. The absence of a unified strategy contributed to a growing perception that AltaVista was losing its relevance in the industry. User expectations had shifted dramatically, with an emphasis on intuitive interfaces and tailored results. The once pioneering search engine found itself unable to meet these new standards, leaving users disenchanted. As traffic began to dwindle, advertising revenue suffered, further constricting the resources available for innovation. This stagnation marked the early stages of decline, as the search engine that had once defined an era gradually faded into the background, overshadowed by more agile competitors. The consequences of this stagnation would resonate throughout the industry. User expectations began to evolve, driven by a burgeoning desire for more relevant and personalized search results. Increasingly, individuals sought more than simple keyword matches. They craved a nuanced understanding of their inquiries, a response that would cater to their unique contexts and preferences. This shift in demand created a chasm between early search engines and the expectations of an emerging user base. The technology of the fading company struggled to adapt. While it had once been a pioneer, delivering results from the vastness of the internet, it found itself outpaced by competitors who embraced advanced algorithms and machine learning. These new entrants began to offer tailored experiences, understanding user intent with greater precision. The limitations of existing systems became painfully apparent as users encountered irrelevant links and unsatisfactory outcomes. This transformation in user behavior coincided with the proliferation of mobile devices, further amplifying the need for immediacy and relevance. Individuals were no longer tethered to desktop computers. They desired instant answers at their fingertips. The fading company, once a titan of the search engine landscape, could not meet this rising tide of expectation. As the gap widened, the firm faced dwindling user engagement. The landscape shifted, leaving it a relic amidst a sea of innovation, a sobering reminder of the relentless nature of technological advancement. The emergence of search engine optimization marked a significant turning point in the digital landscape. This practice evolved as webmasters and marketers recognized the need to enhance visibility in a rapidly saturating online environment. Strategies began to surface, focusing on keyword placement, meta tags, and inbound links, all aimed at increasing page rankings. During this era, search engines became not merely tools for information retrieval, but gateways to commercial success. Companies poured resources into understanding algorithms and user behavior, seeking to capture the attention of an audience increasingly reliant on digital searches. As competition intensified, the optimization of content became paramount. In this region of digital commerce, Businesses that adapted quickly to these changes thrived, while others faltered. The algorithmic updates introduced by emerging competitors prioritized relevance and user engagement, further underscoring the necessity of strategic content management. The once dominant platforms struggled to keep pace, their methodologies rendered obsolete in the face of evolving expectations. The focus shifted towards user experience, leading to a transformation in how information was presented and accessed. With the rise of SEO, the dynamics of online presence were irrevocably altered, leaving behind those who could not or would not adapt. The relentless pursuit of optimization defined this period, shaping the future of digital interaction and commerce. The emergence of a new contender marked a significant shift in this landscape. Introduced in 1998, it promised a streamlined approach to information retrieval. This innovation distinguished itself through a fundamentally different algorithm, emphasizing relevance and user experience over sheer quantity. A minimalist interface drew users in, contrasting sharply with the cluttered designs of its predecessors. The approach resonated with a growing audience. It quickly became apparent that this search engine was not merely another option, it was a transformative force. By employing a sophisticated ranking system and prioritizing quality content, it offered results that felt tailored to individual needs. Users found themselves navigating a vast digital expanse more efficiently and intuitively. As its popularity surged, the once dominant players faced mounting pressure. The fading company, heavily reliant on outdated strategies, struggled to adapt. A steady decline set in, with many users migrating toward the new alternative, lured by its speed and accuracy. This shift was not just a trend, it signified a deeper change in user expectations. In the years that followed, an ecosystem evolved. Advertisers recalibrated their strategies, and businesses shifted their focus to align with this new paradigm. This shift in market dynamics presented challenges for the fading company. In an effort to retain relevance, it launched various features, attempting to enhance its search capabilities. This included a revamped interface and an introduction of new algorithms aimed at improving accuracy. Despite these initiatives, the fundamental issues remained unaddressed. The lack of innovation in the face of a rapidly evolving landscape contributed to its decline. In those formative years, competition grew more fierce. Google emerged with a clean interface and superior algorithms, capturing the interest of users seeking efficiency. AltaVista, while attempting to compete, often appeared reactionary rather than proactive. Their initiatives did not resonate with the changing desires of consumers, who increasingly prioritized speed and simplicity over complexity. The company also struggled with its brand identity, which became muddied in the wake of new competitors. Marketing efforts that had once attracted attention now felt outdated and ineffective. As businesses increasingly focused on search engine marketing, AltaVista failed to establish itself as a leader in this space. Options for partnerships or acquisitions were overlooked, missing critical opportunities to leverage its existing technology for growth. The eventual stagnation became evident, with its user base dwindling, as they sought alternatives that aligned with their evolving needs. This culminated in a gradual fade into obscurity, marking a significant moment in digital history. Internal conflicts emerged as a prominent issue within the fading company, complicating its once clear vision. Leadership struggled to maintain a cohesive strategy in the rapidly evolving landscape of search technology. Fragmented teams often pursued divergent paths, resulting in a lack of unified direction. Mismanagement became apparent as resources were allocated inefficiently, with a disproportionate focus on short-term gains rather than fostering innovative advancements. Communication breakdowns between departments further exacerbated the situation. Developers, engineers, and marketing teams operated in silos, leading to a disjointed approach to product development. Goals were frequently misaligned, causing frustration and stagnation. The competitive environment demanded agility, yet the organization remained trapped in bureaucratic processes, unable to adapt to emerging trends. Market shifts went largely unnoticed as internal strife prevented timely responses. Rival companies began to dominate, capitalizing on the disarray while this entity clung to outdated methodologies. Stakeholders grew increasingly apprehensive as profits dwindled and investor confidence eroded. Attempts to pivot were met with resistance, revealing deeper issues within the corporate culture. What once was a pioneering force in the realm of search engines became entrapped in its own miscalculations. The inability to effectively harness talent and align strategy underscored the decline, leading to an inevitable obsolescence that few could have foreseen in its heyday. In the competitive landscape of early search engines, branding emerged as a crucial element for success. This region witnessed a plethora of options, each vying for user attention and loyalty. Despite its technological prowess, it became increasingly evident that the fading company failed to carve out a distinct identity. The absence of a compelling brand narrative left users with little reason to choose it over emerging competitors. While others capitalized on innovative marketing strategies, this entity remained stagnant, often relying on its initial technological advantages. The lack of a strong brand presence meant that it struggled to foster emotional connections with users. This disconnection weakened its market position, as potential users gravitated towards alternatives that resonated more deeply. Visual elements, slogans, and user experiences became instrumental for the successful contenders of the time. Yet, it neglected to evolve its branding in alignment with user expectations. As the internet matured, so too did the importance of a cohesive and relatable brand image. The inability to adapt to these changing dynamics left it vulnerable to the rise of others that commanded attention through effective branding. In an environment where perception often dictated user choice, the fading company's failure to differentiate itself became a critical oversight, contributing to its eventual decline as a once prominent search engine. User feedback emerged as a fundamental element in the evolution of technology, shaping the direction of services and user experiences. The fading company neglected these insights, dismissing the nuanced needs and preferences of its audience. This oversight manifested in a stagnation of innovation, as the team behind the platform failed to iterate based on user input. Communities of early adopters sought to express their frustrations and desires through various channels. In response, the organization chose to prioritize internal strategies over external dialogue, creating a disconnect that would become increasingly pronounced. Users began to drift towards competitors who actively engaged with their audience, listening attentively to their concerns and desires. As competitors embraced the voice of the customer, they refined their offerings, creating user-friendly interfaces and responsive features. This shift illustrated the importance of adaptability and customer engagement in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. The fading company's reluctance to acknowledge criticism or suggestions. Technological innovations in competitors emerged as pivotal forces, shaping the landscape of online search. This region saw the rise of Google, a company that prioritized speed and relevancy, employing algorithms that adapted dynamically to user behavior. The methodical approach to indexing vast amounts of information allowed it to provide results that were not only timely, but also increasingly accurate. It became evident that the strategies employed by rising competitors were more aligned with the evolving needs of users. In the shadows of this transformation, AltaVista struggled to keep pace. Its reliance on archaic algorithms and limited infrastructure limited its ability to compete. While other search engines embraced machine learning and artificial intelligence, enhancing user experience through personalization, it remained tethered to outdated practices. The gap widened as users sought efficiency and clarity, gravitating towards platforms that could deliver results tailored to their unique inquiries. Emerging innovations from various competitors further complicated AltaVista's position. Companies began to explore voice recognition, mobile optimization, and localized search capabilities, creating a fluidity in user interactions that was absent from the fading company's offerings. As these advancements flourished, they rendered traditional search techniques increasingly irrelevant. The once prominent name faded into obscurity, overshadowed by a relentless wave of progress and adaptation in the digital age. A significant shift characterized the rise of Web 2.0, a period marked by user-generated content and social interactivity. This evolution created a demand for search engines that could adapt to a new landscape, one where dynamic content flourished. In this environment, it became increasingly apparent that the fading company struggled to keep pace with the rapid changes in technology and user expectation. While competing platforms embraced innovation, enhancing their algorithms to prioritize relevance and personalization, it found itself entrenched in outdated practices. A rigid focus on traditional keyword search limited its ability to evolve. The architecture that once supported its prominence became a hindrance, as a lack of investment in user experience alienated a growing base of potential users. Rival search engines rapidly integrated social signals and real-time data into their offerings. They capitalized on the collective intelligence of users, creating an interactive web ecosystem, while it remained static, offering little beyond basic search functionality. The gap widened, leaving the fading company to grapple with a diminishing user base as loyalty waned in the face of more adaptive solutions. As new platforms emerged, they not only captured the attention of the market, but also reshaped the very fabric of online searching. This shift rendered AltaVista not just obsolete, but a relic of a bygone era in the relentless march of digital progress. International expansion was initially viewed as a promising avenue for AltaVista to maintain relevance in an increasingly competitive landscape. Efforts to penetrate markets beyond North America included localized versions of its search engine, aiming to cater to diverse linguistic and cultural needs. These attempts bore some fruit, particularly in European markets, where early adopters embraced innovative technology. AltaVista's user-friendly interface and powerful search capabilities attracted users, generating initial enthusiasm. Yet the anticipated sustained growth faltered as the evolving dynamics of global internet usage became evident. Competitors with deeper resources and more effective marketing strategies began to dominate these regions. the company struggled to adapt its offerings to meet the specific demands of international users, leading to inconsistent performance across different locales. In emerging markets, the lack of localized content hampered its ability to attract and retain users. In Asia, the company's initiatives largely failed to resonate. Cultural nuances and preferences in search behavior were overlooked, creating a disconnect that proved detrimental. As local search engines gained traction, AltaVista's presence diminished significantly. What began as an ambitious vision to establish a global footprint gradually diminished, leaving behind a fragmented legacy. These missteps contributed to a broader narrative of decline, reinforcing the notion that adaptability is crucial in a rapidly changing digital environment. The emergence of mobile computing marked a pivotal shift in user behavior, fundamentally altering the landscape of digital interaction. This transition saw an increasing number of individuals accessing the internet through handheld devices, a trend that demanded immediate adaptation from search engines. AltaVista, however, struggled to recalibrate its operations to meet these new user expectations. While competitors embraced the mobile revolution, optimizing their platforms for smaller screens and touch interfaces, it remained anchored in its traditional desktop-centric approach. This stagnation was compounded by a lack of foresight regarding the growing importance of mobile search. As users began to favor convenience and speed, the fading company failed to prioritize the development of a robust mobile interface, resulting in a gradual decline in relevance. With each passing year, the gap widened. Users gravitated toward alternatives that offered seamless mobile experiences, leaving behind the cumbersome remnants of AltaVista's once pioneering technology. The inability to pivot towards mobile solutions not only alienated a significant portion of the user base, but also eroded its competitive edge. This region of the digital landscape, characterized by rapid innovation, proved unforgiving to those who hesitated. As competitors flourished, AltaVista's legacy became increasingly overshadowed by its own missed opportunities in the mobile domain, further entrenching its obsolescence. User retention strategies fell short as innovations lagged in a rapidly evolving digital landscape, while competitors offered personalized experiences and adaptive algorithms. This platform relied on static search functionalities. Simplicity became a double-edged sword. Users desired more than just basic search capabilities. The absence of tailored content and user-centric features created a disconnect. They failed to engage their audience effectively, resulting in dwindling loyalty. Communication strategies suffered from a lack of clarity and consistency. In a time when user feedback was becoming critical, responses were often delayed or insufficient, contributing to user frustration. This region of digital interaction demanded agility and responsiveness, qualities that were not mirrored in their approach. The community that once thrived on this platform began to disperse, seeking alternatives that promised more responsive engagement. The decision to prioritize advertising revenue over user experience further exacerbated the situation. Increased advertisements cluttered the interface, overshadowing the search results and diminishing overall satisfaction. As competitors streamlined user interfaces and enhanced functionalities, this fading company seemed entrenched in the past, unable to pivot effectively. The absence of a cohesive strategy to retain users left a void that competitors swiftly filled, marking a critical turning point in the narrative of an early pioneer in the search engine realm. The decline became inevitable, a lesson in the importance of adaptability. User engagement began to dwindle as new competitors emerged, capturing the interest of a rapidly evolving audience. Metrics showed a steady decline in traffic, revealing a stark contrast to the peak years when it dominated the search engine landscape. Daily visits, previously numbering in the millions, gradually slipped into a few 100,000, reflecting changing preferences in online behavior. The introduction of more refined algorithms by emerging search engines resulted in a noticeable shift in user loyalty. Visitors sought intuitive navigation and personalized experiences, features that this fading entity struggled to provide. Analytics from this period indicated a gradual erosion of market share, illustrating how quickly user attention can pivot. This region, once bustling with digital activity, now echoed with silence as users gravitated towards platforms offering greater relevance and speed. The once familiar interface became antiquated, overshadowed by a new generation of technology that prioritized user experience and streamlined search capabilities. Individuals who had once relied on it for information began to explore alternatives that promised efficiency and accuracy. This shift in user metrics was not merely a statistical anomaly. It represented a broader cultural transition in how information was consumed and valued. The Fading Company illustrated a poignant example of how technological progress, unaccompanied by adaptability, inevitably leads to obsolescence. Algorithm updates emerged as a critical factor in the evolution of search engines during the late 20th century. This region witnessed rapid advancements in technology, with competitors continuously refining their algorithms to provide users with more relevant search results. The Fading Company found itself grappling with an increasing inability to adapt to these shifts. Initial success was marked by a straightforward approach, focusing on keyword matching. As the landscape evolved, the limitations of this method became apparent. Users began demanding more sophisticated search capabilities, and the competition responded with increasingly complex algorithms. Each update released by rivals aimed to enhance user experience, utilizing factors such as contextual relevance and semantic understanding. The inability to innovate led to an erosion of user trust and loyalty for AltaVista. Market share dwindled as the search engine struggled to implement effective algorithm updates. Attempts to introduce new features fell short of expectations, often perceived as insufficient responses to the rapidly changing demands of the user base. Reviews increasingly highlighted the inadequacies of results, drawing attention to the contrast between AltaVista and its more agile counterparts. This decline was not merely a reflection of market dynamics, but a testament to the significance of continual evolution in technology, the lack of foresight and responsiveness. The rise of niche search engines marked a significant turning point in the landscape of online information retrieval. These specialized services emerged to cater to the specific needs of users, offering tailored results that broader platforms struggled to provide. In this region of the internet, smaller entities began to flourish by honing their focus on particular domains, such as academic research, local business listings, and multimedia content. As these platforms gained traction, they capitalized on the limitations of more generalized search engines, which became increasingly unable to satisfy the diverse demands of a growing user base. It was not merely a matter of preference. The necessity for precision in search results became apparent. The emergence of these niche services demonstrated a clear shift in user behavior, with many opting for platforms that could deliver more accurate and relevant outcomes. This evolution in user expectation further strained the fading company's ability to compete. With resources stretched thin and innovation stifled, it became increasingly clear that the era of one-size-fits-all search solutions was coming to an end. The once dominant entity found itself overshadowed by these agile competitors, who thrived by focusing on specific audiences and needs. Market share eroded gradually, leaving the legacy of an industry pioneer diminished among the ruins of its initial promise. Corporate decisions reshaped the landscape for many technology firms during the late 20th century, and the rise and fall of Compaq serves as a notable example. The acquisition of Compaq by Hewlett-Packard in 2002 sparked a shift in strategic priorities. This transition led to a dilution of resources that had previously supported innovation within its ranks. Rather than nurturing AltaVista's technological advancements, the new leadership sought to streamline operations, leading to a neglect of the search engine's potential. The once promising platform was overshadowed by competitors who were rapidly evolving their algorithms and user experiences. Market dynamics further complicated matters with the emergence of Google, which revolutionized the search engine experience. Enhanced speed and relevance became the new standard, leaving AltaVista struggling to keep pace. As user engagement dwindled, it became increasingly clear that the changes at Compaq, coupled with the competitive landscape, contributed to a decline that was both inevitable and profound. What remained of this once revered search engine became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the fragility of innovation amidst corporate restructuring and shifting market demands. The acquisition by Overture marked a pivotal moment in the trajectory of this fading company. Intended as a strategic maneuver to rejuvenate its relevance, it instead revealed underlying vulnerabilities. While Overture aimed to integrate AltaVista's technology into its emerging advertising model, the core identity of the search engine began to blur. This merger introduced a new direction, yet it also deepened the complexities of navigating an increasingly competitive landscape. The once innovative search engine struggled to maintain its footing amidst the aggressive advertising strategies employed by Overture. This shift in focus from search accuracy to revenue generation compromised user trust, leading to a decline in loyal users. As resources were redirected towards monetization efforts, the technological advancements that had once set AltaVista apart fell by the wayside. The engine's algorithms, once admired for their sophistication, began to lag behind competitors who prioritized user experience and relevance. The integration process introduced additional challenges, including cultural clashes between two distinct corporate environments. Employees faced uncertainty regarding their roles, leading to a decline in morale and productivity. The once thriving creative spirit of innovation diminished, replaced by an atmosphere of stagnation and disillusionment. In this environment of uncertainty, the promise of revitalization slipped further from reach, marking a significant moment in the narrative of corporate decline. The shifting landscape of the search engine industry brought with it a new chapter, one marked by the acquisition of AltaVista by Yahoo. This decision was rooted in a desire to harness the technological prowess of AltaVista and integrate it into a larger corporate structure. Such a move was intended to revitalize both entities, yet it introduced complexities that corporate ownership altered the original vision, imposing a framework that prioritized profitability over innovation. The once agile spirit of the search engine became constrained within corporate protocols and expectations. As strategies shifted, the focus on user experience diminished, leading to a disconnection from the audience that once relied on AltaVista for its search capabilities. Amidst these changes, decision-making processes became slower and more bureaucratic. The nimbleness that characterized the early days dwindled as the integration of AltaVista into Yahoo marked the beginning of a struggle for identity. This environment stifled creativity, resulting in missed opportunities to adapt to the evolving demands of users. As the years progressed, the fading company grappled with maintaining relevance in a competitive market. The transformation into a subsidiary left behind many of the hallmarks of innovation that had initially distinguished AltaVista, leading to its eventual obsolescence. The gradual decline culminated in the official announcement of its shutdown in March 2011. This decision arrived after years of diminishing relevance in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. Users, once captivated by the novelty of its features, migrated toward more refined alternatives, leaving the remnants of the search engine behind. In this region of fading technology, the echoes of AltaVista's search capabilities lingered, yet they were overshadowed by the rise of more sophisticated platforms. The once vibrant index of web pages slowly dulled as its algorithms became antiquated. They struggled to keep pace with the advancements seen in competitor technologies, which embraced machine learning and user-oriented design. The final days were marked by a quiet resignation. Loyal users, who had relied on the service in its heyday, found themselves navigating unfamiliar terrain as competitors emerged with improved functionalities. The closure of AltaVista was not marked by fanfare. Instead, it faded silently, a mere footnote in the historical narrative of the Internet. The once promising search engine became a relic, an example of how innovation can stagnate under the weight of corporate bureaucracy and market evolution. This decline serves as a reminder of the ephemeral nature of tech dominance, where even the pioneers can become obsolete in a world that relentlessly demands adaptation. The migration of users from this once revered search engine illustrates a critical shift in user preferences and technological evolution. As the allure of AltaVista waned, users sought alternatives that offered more streamlined experiences. The emergence of Google, with its minimalist design and powerful algorithms, captivated those looking for efficiency and relevance in their search results. A significant portion of AltaVista's former audience transitioned to this new platform, drawn by its speed and accuracy. The shift was not merely transactional, it represented a fundamental change in how individuals interacted with information. Users gravitated towards services that prioritized simplicity and effectiveness, leaving behind the complexities that characterized earlier platforms. Other contenders, such as Yahoo and Lycos, also captured segments of this dwindling user base. As digital landscapes evolved, these platforms adapted their offerings, integrating features that resonated with changing user expectations. The search for information became more intuitive, with advancements in artificial intelligence and machine learning shaping user interactions. As AltaVista struggled to keep pace, the loss of its loyal users marked the final chapter in a once prominent narrative. This transition underscored the unforgiving realities of technological advancement, highlighting how quickly preferences can shift and how essential adaptability is in a fast-paced digital environment. The fading company serves as a case study in the inevitability of change. This case study highlights several key lessons relevant to the evolution of technology and business strategy. Innovation, once a hallmark of success, can quickly become an anchor when complacency sets in. The inability to adapt to the rapidly changing landscape of the internet marked a critical point in AltaVista's decline. New competitors emerged, armed with fresh ideas and agile approaches, while the fading company clung to outdated methods and technologies. Market positioning proved to be another vital lesson. Initial dominance gave way to vulnerability as users sought out more intuitive and user-friendly alternatives. The rise of minimalist design and effective algorithms rendered the once popular platform obsolete. This transition underscored the importance of not only understanding, but anticipating user needs in a dynamic market. Additionally, investment decisions reflected a broader trend of misallocation of resources. Instead of reinvesting in innovation, the fading company became entangled in bureaucracy, stifling creativity and growth. Strategic partnerships and collaborations were overlooked, allowing competitors to seize opportunities and expand their influence. This narrative also emphasizes the significance of maintaining a forward-thinking mindset. The lessons gleaned from AltaVista's decline serve as a cautionary tale for businesses navigating the unpredictable waves of technological advancement, urging vigilance and adaptability as prime requisites for survival. AltaVista's legacy extends beyond its operational years, marking significant footprints in the evolution of search engine technology. It introduced innovative features, such as natural language processing and advanced indexing methods, which laid the groundwork for subsequent developments in the field. This early search engine demonstrated the potential of algorithms to sift through vast amounts of data, influencing future platforms that would refine and enhance these capabilities. Competitive pressures prompted other companies to adopt and improve upon these features, creating a race for supremacy within the nascent internet landscape. The approaches developed by AltaVista inspired giants like Google, which built upon these foundational elements, employing more sophisticated algorithms and user-friendly interfaces. This evolution illustrates how initial failures can inadvertently shape the trajectory of entire industries. The search engine's emphasis on speed and relevance resonated with users, highlighting the importance of user experience in design and functionality. It provided valuable insights into consumer behavior, which future search engines would leverage to tailor results more effectively to individual preferences. Even in its decline, the remnants of AltaVista's innovations persist within the architecture of modern search engines. The echoes of its strategies and methods continue to guide developers in their quest for efficiency and accuracy, underscoring an enduring influence on digital information retrieval systems. The emergence of new technologies frequently reshapes business landscapes, often rendering once prominent entities obsolete. This phenomenon reflects a broader trend where reliance on outdated systems can lead to decline. Adaptation becomes crucial in a rapidly shifting environment, yet many organizations struggle to pivot. Legacy systems, once deemed revolutionary, can transform into anchors, weighing down innovation and responsiveness. In this region, the failure to embrace advancements can be traced through various industries. The introduction of more agile competitors often accelerates the downfall of established firms. Decisions rooted in past successes can stifle growth, leaving them vulnerable to disruption. As technology evolves, It demands not only new tools, but also fresh strategies. Companies that fail to recalibrate their business models may find themselves eclipsed. The landscape of digital services reveals a stark reality. Organizations reliant on outdated methodologies face significant risks. Insights gleaned from data usage patterns can expose shortcomings in operational frameworks. This gap often widens when leadership becomes entrenched in traditional mindsets, resisting change despite clear signals from the marketplace. In the absence of proactive adaptation, many find themselves unable to keep pace with emerging technologies. The eventual result is a quiet decline, as these once innovative businesses struggle to maintain relevance amidst a tide of relentless advancement. The interplay between technology and business practices remains a critical axis of analysis in understanding corporate failure. Innovation served as the cornerstone of early success in the search engine industry. Emerging from the mid-1990s, it thrived on a burgeoning internet landscape hungry for efficient information retrieval. The initial surge was propelled by rapid technological advancements, establishing a competitive edge. A commitment to continuous improvement allowed some companies to adapt to changing consumer demands and the evolving digital ecosystem. Failures often stemmed from an inability to embrace these shifts. It was this resistance to innovation that. Embracing innovation requires more than incremental changes. It demands a cultural shift within organizations. Companies benefit from fostering an environment where new ideas flourish and risk-taking is encouraged. This adaptability is essential for long-term survival in a landscape marked by rapid technological change. The lessons drawn from AltaVista's decline serve as a stark reminder that stagnation can lead to irrelevance. Market dynamics significantly shape the trajectory of any business, particularly in the technology sector. This region experienced a rapid evolution in search engine capabilities, with new entrants emerging to challenge established players. They introduced innovative features, transforming user expectations and behaviors. The rise of Google marked a pivotal shift, emphasizing speed, relevance, and simplicity in search results. This fresh approach quickly resonated with users seeking efficiency, which contributed to shifting traffic away from AltaVista. Legacy infrastructures often struggle to adapt to such relentless competition. This fading company, once a pioneer, found itself unable to compete with the agility of its rivals. Resources became stretched as efforts to innovate fell short, resulting in a diminished market presence. The inability to pivot or evolve in response to emerging trends is a crucial factor in business longevity. Alternatives began to capture user attention, drawing away not only casual web surfers, but also advertisers who sought the most effective platforms for engagement. The decline of AltaVista illustrates how essential it is for companies to remain vigilant and adaptable. A failure to recognize and respond to competitive pressures often leads to a gradual erosion of market share. In the case of this once dominant search engine, the relentless pace of innovation and user preference. The fragility of brand loyalty became evident as this once revered search engine struggled to maintain its foothold. Users, initially drawn to the speed and efficiency of AltaVista, found themselves increasingly tempted by emerging competitors. These rivals offered novel features that resonated with evolving expectations. The vibrant user interface of newer platforms captivated attention, gradually overshadowing the simplicity that defined AltaVista's early appeal. This region of the digital landscape witnessed a transformation, where loyalty was no longer a guarantee. The shifting tides of consumer behavior revealed a stark truth. Even the most established brands could falter. Daily interactions shifted from routine reliance on AltaVista to exploratory ventures into other search engines. This gradual erosion of trust mirrored a broader trend within the industry, where innovation took precedence over familiarity. The fading company found itself at a crossroads, grappling with the realization that users no longer saw it as synonymous with search. Efforts to adapt often fell short, eclipsed by the rapid advancements of competitors. Features once considered groundbreaking became obsolete, rendering previous advantages irrelevant. As the digital age progressed, the decline of brand loyalty was amplified, reflecting a landscape where adaptability was essential. AltaVista's experience serves as a reminder of the impermanence of perceived value in an ever-evolving technological world. Management decisions played a pivotal role in shaping AltaVista's trajectory, influencing both its rise and subsequent decline. Early on, the leadership opted for a groundbreaking approach, prioritizing speed and efficiency in search results. This strategy initially attracted a substantial user base, establishing it as a formidable competitor in the nascent search engine market. Over time, however, decisions regarding innovation became increasingly hesitant. The leadership failed to adapt to shifting user expectations and technological advancements, while rivals embraced new features like personalized search and algorithmic improvements. The fading company clung to its initial formula, resulting in stagnation. Resource allocation also reflected a lack of foresight. Investments in advertising and partnerships often overshadowed the vital need for research and development. This misalignment compromised the ability to enhance user experience or respond to emerging competitors in a timely manner. Cultural dynamics within the organization contributed to its decline. A rigid hierarchy stifled creativity and collaboration, leading to disconnection among teams. Talented individuals left, disillusioned by the diminished potential for innovation. As competitors adopted agile methodologies and user-centric designs, the once dominant search engine found itself unable to compete effectively. Management decisions, once visionary, became increasingly myopic, underscoring the delicate balance between ambition and adaptability in the fast-paced world of technology. Investor expectations shaped the trajectory of this fading company, placing immense pressure on leadership to deliver immediate results. As the enthusiasm surrounding the internet surged during the late 1990s, the demand for rapid growth created a landscape where short-term performance often overshadowed long-term strategy. Decisions were driven by the imperative to appease shareholders, leading to a series of misaligned priorities. The relentless pursuit of market share resulted in aggressive expansions that strained resources. Rather than fostering innovation and refining the core product, management often diverted attention towards ventures that promised quick returns. This shift diluted focus. In this environment, the pressure to maintain stock prices became a dominating concern. The constant scrutiny from analysts and investors led to a cycle of reactive decision-making, leaving little room for strategic experimentation. As competitors rapidly advanced, it became evident that the relentless chase for immediate gains had compromised the potential for sustainable growth. The resulting stagnation reflected a broader malaise in the industry, where the emphasis on investor satisfaction overshadowed the foundational principles that once fueled success. This culminated in a gradual obsolescence, marking the decline of an early pioneer in the search engine realm. The shift in digital advertising had profound implications for this fading company. As the internet evolved, new players emerged, redefining how users interacted with digital content. Advertising models transitioned from straightforward banner placements to more nuanced approaches, incorporating data analytics and targeted strategies. This transformation rendered the previous methods employed by AltaVista less effective, leading to a gradual erosion of its user base. Competitors adapted quickly, utilizing sophisticated algorithms to refine search results and enhance user experience. The reliance on outdated processes left it struggling to maintain relevance in a fast-paced digital environment. This region of early internet innovation witnessed an influx of companies that embraced change and innovation, leaving AltaVista to grapple with its legacy. With mounting pressure from emerging search engines, advertising revenue dwindled. As advertisers gravitated toward platforms offering more refined targeting capabilities, the disparity in performance became evident. This resulted in a significant decline in market share, forcing the once prominent search engine into a defensive posture. The inability to pivot in response to evolving user expectations and advertising trends. Cultural shifts during the early internet era were significantly influenced by AltaVista's initial successes and subsequent decline. As one of the pioneers in search technology, it shaped how users interacted with information online. Its early capabilities, such as indexing a vast array of web pages, allowed users to explore the burgeoning digital landscape with unprecedented ease. This exploration contributed to a growing dependency on search engines as primary gateways to information. The user experience provided by AltaVista set a precedent, establishing expectations for speed and accuracy that became benchmarks for future competitors. However, as it struggled to adapt, those very expectations began to highlight its shortcomings. The emergence of more refined algorithms and user-friendly interfaces from newer entrants rendered it obsolete, emphasizing the transient nature of technological relevance. The fading presence of AltaVista in search engine culture reflects broader themes of innovation and disruption that characterized the internet's evolution. Users who once relied on its services found themselves seeking alternatives, illustrating the fickle loyalties of an audience with ever-changing demands. Legacy systems and early adopters of AltaVista remain as reminders of a time when the internet was still in its formative stages, transitioning from novelty to necessity. This obsolescence serves as a cautionary tale about adaptability in the face of relentless technological progress. User behavior transformed significantly over the years, reflecting an evolving relationship with information retrieval. Initially, there was a reliance on keyword searches, where users would input specific terms in hopes of finding relevant results. This method, while foundational, required a level of precision that many users struggled to maintain. As the internet expanded, the complexity of information increased, necessitating a shift in how individuals approached their searches. Gradually, the emergence of natural language processing altered these interactions. Questions became more conversational, with users seeking answers rather than lists of links. This shift highlighted a demand for contextual understanding, a capability that earlier search engines like AltaVista could not adequately address. The transition to mobile devices further compounded these changes, searches became shorter, more spontaneous, and often location-based. Instant access to information created an expectation for immediacy that older systems were ill-equipped to fulfill. This region of technological evolution also saw the rise of personalized search experiences. Preferences and previous interactions began to shape results, cultivating a tailored approach that resonated with users. The growing importance of multimedia content and social integration indicated a further departure from traditional search methods. Such shifts underscored an urgent need for adaptability, as the landscape of information consumption continued to evolve at a rapid pace, leaving behind those unable to keep up. This transformation in information consumption led to the emergence of social media platforms, reshaping how users engaged with content. The immediacy and interactivity of these platforms attracted vast audiences, diverting attention from traditional search engines. It became evident that users preferred connections and recommendations from their peers over algorithm-driven results. In this region of digital communication, the gravity of social validation gained prominence. These platforms fostered a sense of community, allowing individuals to share experiences and drive trends. This shift created a new paradigm where relevance was determined not solely by search algorithms, but also by social interaction. Traditional search engines, lacking this element, faced diminishing returns in user engagement. The decline of AltaVista exemplified this trend. Once a pioneer in web searches, it struggled to adapt to the dynamic features of social media. User behavior gravitated towards platforms that facilitated real-time sharing and connections, rendering traditional search methods less appealing. The integration of social features into search engines became crucial for survival, but it was too late for many, including AltaVista. This gradual erosion highlighted the need for innovation. Those who failed to embrace the changing tide found themselves overshadowed. The once dominant search engine landscape became increasingly fragmented as new players emerged to fill the void left by those unable to evolve. AltaVista's initial business model relied heavily on its pioneering approach to web crawling and indexing, enabling it to offer a comprehensive search experience during the late 1990s. Utilization of advanced algorithms allowed for quick retrieval of information, appealing to an expanding internet user base. They attracted advertising revenue primarily through banner ads, a common practice in that era, but this approach lacked the sophistication needed to retain consumer interest over time. In contrast, Google introduced a fundamentally different business model, emphasizing relevance and user experience through its innovative PageRank algorithm. This method analyzed the relationships between websites, offering more accurate search results. As the internet evolved, Google adapted by integrating contextually relevant advertisements that blended seamlessly into search results. This transition fostered a symbiotic relationship with users, driving both traffic and revenue. The stark divergence in these strategies illustrates a broader trend in technology companies. While AltaVista's reliance on traditional advertising methods failed to sustain growth, Google's focus on user-centric features propelled it to unprecedented heights. This shift not only altered the competitive landscape, but also set new standards in search engine functionality and monetization. As obsolescence loomed for AltaVista, the burgeoning giant emphasized adaptability, ensuring its place at the forefront of digital innovation. Concerns regarding data privacy emerged as a fundamental issue within the digital landscape, prompting early search engines to scrutinize their practices. AltaVista, in an attempt to maintain user trust, employed various strategies aimed at addressing these anxieties. This commitment began with transparency, as the company disclosed its data collection methods and the rationale behind them. They provided users with insights into how their information was utilized, fostering a sense of security in an uncertain environment. Privacy features were integrated into the user experience, allowing individuals to manage their data preferences with greater ease. Options for anonymizing searches and limiting data retention were introduced, reflecting a growing awareness of the need for user agency. This proactive stance positioned AltaVista as a forward-thinking entity amid an evolving digital ethos. Despite these efforts, a larger trend loomed as competitors began prioritizing privacy even more aggressively. This shift in focus posed a significant challenge for AltaVista, overshadowing previous initiatives. Users increasingly gravitated toward platforms that promised complete anonymity and data protection. The once esteemed search engine found itself in a race it could not win as the landscape transformed rapidly. In this environment, how well they adapted to the changing expectations surrounding privacy. The transition from desktop systems to cloud technology marked a pivotal moment in the digital landscape. This shift signaled a new era where access to data and applications became less tethered to physical devices. An opportunity presented itself for AltaVista, yet it remained unexploited, overshadowed by a reluctance to evolve. Competitors embraced the cloud with open arms, offering innovative solutions that catered to an increasingly mobile and connected user base. These emerging entities recognized the importance of scalability and flexibility, positioning themselves as leaders in an environment that craved instant access and seamless integration. AltaVista, on the other hand, clung to traditional models, underestimating the profound changes in consumer behavior and technological capabilities. The fading company continued to prioritize its existing infrastructure, struggling to pivot towards a cloud-based paradigm. As a result, it fell further behind, unable to provide the speed and accessibility that users demanded. This stagnation fostered a sense of obsolescence as more agile competitors began to dominate the search engine market. While the world moved toward collaborative platforms and cloud storage solutions, it became increasingly evident that AltaVista lacked the vision and adaptability crucial for survival in this new digital age. The missed opportunities compounded, leading to an inevitable decline that echoed throughout the industry. This decline manifested in various forms, primarily characterized by stagnation in innovation and an inability to adapt to the rapidly changing digital landscape. Complacency seeped into the corporate culture, resulting in a lack of urgency to develop new features or improve user experience. In this environment, competitors emerged with fresh ideas and improved technologies, capturing the attention and loyalty of users who sought efficiency and relevance. The rise of alternative search engines showcased a stark contrast to the fading giant. They prioritized user-friendly interfaces, advanced algorithms, and quicker response times. This shift in consumer preferences left the bygone leader struggling to remain relevant. The once thriving entity faced a decline in traffic, leading to diminished advertising revenue, which was critical for sustaining operations. In this region of digital history, the consequences of complacency became evident. resources that could have been allocated for research and development dwindled, as decision makers overlooked the necessity of innovation. As new players gained ground, the established company found itself unable to recover from the losses incurred. The once prominent brand became synonymous with obsolescence. In the end, a failure to recognize the need for change not only impacted its standing, but also served as a cautionary tale for future enterprises navigating the ever-evolving technological terrain. A prevailing sense of superiority characterized AltaVista's corporate identity during its peak. Positioned as a pioneering force in the search engine landscape, it embraced the notion of innovation and technological prowess. This perspective fostered an internal culture that prioritized rapid growth and expansive capabilities over adaptability and user-centric design. The engineers and executives were confident in their advanced algorithms, believing they had crafted a product that would dominate the market indefinitely. This confidence, however, morphed into a form of complacency. Decision makers often dismissed emerging competitors as fleeting threats, underestimating the shifting preferences of users who craved more intuitive experiences. AltaVista's ethos, once rooted in cutting-edge technology, gradually became synonymous with rigidity. The insistence on maintaining existing processes stifled creativity. The corporate identity also leaned heavily on the perception of reliability. Users viewed it as a stalwart in the chaotic internet landscape, yet this very reliability bred a disconnect with the evolving demands of a diverse audience. As new players emerged, offering streamlined services and personalized features, the fading company remained trapped in its own self-constructed narrative. The juxtaposition between its self-image and market reality serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between innovation and adaptation in a rapidly changing digital world. The role of technology adoption played a critical part in the trajectory of this early search engine. Initially, it thrived on its ability to index and retrieve web pages at an unprecedented speed, captivating users with its functionality. Yet, as competitors emerged, the landscape shifted dramatically. Their approaches to user experience, algorithm optimization, and personalization began to dominate user preferences. In this evolving environment, the lag in adapting to new technologies became apparent. While others explored advancements in artificial intelligence and machine learning, the fading company relied heavily on its original search methodologies. This stagnation hindered its ability to meet the growing demands of users who sought more intuitive and relevant results. The emergence of social media platforms further complicated matters as information sharing shifted to new channels. The once esteemed search engine could not pivot swiftly enough to incorporate these developments into its service offerings. This failure to embrace the full spectrum of technological evolution contributed significantly to its decline. Investor confidence waned as the gap between user expectations and the provided experience widened. Resource allocation became increasingly scrutinized, leading to a spiral of diminishing returns. With each passing year, the remnants of what had once been an innovative powerhouse faded into obscurity, overshadowed by competitors who embraced the relentless march of technological progress. Adaptability emerged as a crucial element in the survival of technology companies, a lesson starkly illustrated by the trajectory of AltaVista. The once pioneering search engine, celebrated for its speed and comprehensive indexing, found itself unable to pivot in an evolving digital landscape. As user preferences shifted towards more intuitive interfaces and personalized experiences, it remained anchored to its original design, increasingly out of touch with emerging trends. Competitors, recognizing the urgency of innovation, rapidly adopted new algorithms and user-centric features. They cultivated a culture of agility, responding to market demands with ease. This contrast highlighted a fatal flaw in AltaVista's approach. The firm, once a beacon of technological advancement, became emblematic of stagnation. Its unwillingness to embrace change led to a gradual decline, culminating in its acquisition and subsequent integration into larger entities, further diluting its identity. The region's tech landscape evolved, with new players rising to prominence. These entities harnessed data analytics and machine learning to refine their offerings, ensuring relevance in an increasingly competitive market. This strategic flexibility proved vital for survival. AltaVista's decline serves as a poignant reminder that the ability to adapt is not merely beneficial but essential in the realm of technology, where the only constant is change. The echoes of its past resonate within the industry, urging future innovators to remain vigilant and responsive. The evolution of search algorithms has marked a significant turning point in digital navigation, illustrating the relentless pursuit of precision and relevance. Early systems, including those pioneered by AltaVista, relied heavily on keyword matching, often returning results laden with irrelevant links. These initial efforts laid the groundwork for understanding user intent, but they lacked the sophistication required for contemporary demands. With the advent of more advanced algorithms, the necessity for contextual awareness emerged. The introduction of semantic search transformed the landscape, enabling systems to comprehend not only the words typed, but also the underlying meanings. This shift allowed for a more nuanced interaction, effectively addressing user queries with greater accuracy. In this region of technological advancement, machine learning began to play a pivotal role. Algorithms adapted over time, learning from user behavior and feedback. This iterative process fostered improvements in search quality, as systems became adept at recognizing patterns and anticipating needs. Companies increasingly focused on user experience, integrating personalized results driven by historical data. As competition intensified, the gap between early methodologies and modern techniques widened. The Fading Company, once a pioneer, became a case study in the importance of adaptability. Observers noted that while some entities thrived, others faltered, unable to evolve alongside the rapid changes in algorithmic development. The legacy of those early search engines remains a somber reminder of the necessity for continual innovation. The final years of AltaVista were characterized by an earnest yet futile struggle for relevance. Efforts to revitalize the platform included the introduction of new features aimed at enhancing user experience. This included the incorporation of advanced image search capabilities and an attempt to leverage a more user-friendly interface. Despite these initiatives, the search engine found itself increasingly overshadowed by emerging competitors who offered more streamlined and intuitive services. Internal decisions reflected a disjointed vision as the company grappled with shifting market dynamics. Leadership changes disrupted continuity, and strategic misalignment became apparent. Marketing campaigns intended to reignite interest fell flat, lacking the impact needed to reclaim a loyal user base. Users had begun migrating to alternatives that offered not only speed, but also more comprehensive search results tailored to their needs. The diminishing traffic became a telling indicator of its decline. Monthly visitors dwindled, leaving behind a haunting echo of what once was. This region of the internet, once bustling with activity, became a digital ghost town. Advertisers began to withdraw, further straining the already fragile revenue streams. By the time AltaVista officially ceased operations, it had become a relic, a testament to the unforgiving nature of technological advancement and the perpetual demand for evolution in a rapidly changing landscape. The once vibrant community surrounding AltaVista had played a pivotal role in shaping its user experience. Forums and discussion boards thrived, providing a space for users to share insights, tips, and queries about the burgeoning internet. This region became a hub for exchange, where enthusiasts collaborated to enhance their search techniques and offered feedback on features. The interaction fostered a sense of belonging, allowing users to feel invested in the platform's evolution. As advancements in technology emerged, user expectations shifted. The initial charm of community engagement began to falter. Users sought more intuitive experiences, while the forums that once buzzed with activity grew quieter. The transition to more sophisticated search engines left the fading company struggling to adapt. It was not merely the technology that failed to keep pace, but the very essence of community that once defined the user experience. Interactions became sporadic as users migrated to platforms that offered enhanced functionality and seamless integration with their daily lives. These ruins of a bygone era serve as a reminder of how quickly preferences can change. The decline of AltaVista illustrates the intricate relationship between technological evolution and community dynamics. In the absence of an engaged user base, even the most innovative platforms can succumb to obsolescence, highlighting the fragile nature of digital ecosystems. The diminishing relevance of the platform left many employees in a state of uncertainty. As the search engine lost its competitive edge, the workforce experienced a gradual disintegration. Layoffs became commonplace, and the once vibrant office spaces transformed into hushed corridors echoing with the remnants of ambition. Those who remained grappled with the realization that their contributions, once celebrated, no longer held the weight they once did. The spirit of innovation that had characterized the early days was replaced by a pervasive sense of loss. Colleagues who had once collaborated on trailblazing projects found themselves navigating an unfamiliar landscape where job security was a fading notion. Many employees sought refuge in the burgeoning tech sector, eager to leverage their skills in more promising environments. Others faced the daunting prospect of re-entering the job market, armed with experience but burdened by the stigma of a declining brand. Personal lives intertwined with professional identities were irrevocably altered, leading to emotional and financial strain. In the aftermath, the legacy of AltaVista became a cautionary tale, echoing through the halls of tech history. The employees, once pioneers of digital exploration, were left to search for new pathways, reflecting the bittersweet truth of innovation's transience. The narrative of their journey became intertwined with the rise and fall of a digital icon. In the aftermath of its decline, the digital legacy of AltaVista began to manifest in subtle yet significant ways. Despite its eventual obsolescence, the groundwork laid by this early search engine influenced the development of future platforms. The innovative algorithms that powered its search capabilities offered a glimpse into the potential of information retrieval, shaping the expectations of users and developers alike. These influences can be traced through the evolution of search technologies, where various aspects of AltaVista's design made their way into subsequent iterations. The emphasis on speed and accuracy set a benchmark for competitors, prompting them to refine their own systems. Features such as the ability to index vast amounts of information and deliver results quickly became standard practice, reflecting the high bar set by this early pioneer. The interface design, though simplistic by today's standards, provided a user-friendly approach that many later platforms adopted and enhanced. This focus on accessibility contributed to a wider acceptance of internet searches as a daily utility, integrating them into the fabric of online life. As time progressed, the remnants of AltaVista's work persisted, quietly influencing the algorithms and user experiences of modern search engines. Though its name faded into obscurity, the principles established during its operational years continued to resonate, marking an enduring, if understated, legacy. The evolving nature of internet search transformed the digital landscape in ways previously unimaginable. After AltaVista's decline, a series of innovations emerged, each building upon the groundwork laid by earlier search engines. This period witnessed the rise of more sophisticated algorithms, prioritizing user experience and relevance over mere keyword matching. The introduction of personalized search results created a more tailored experience, adapting to individual preferences and behaviors. These advancements prompted a shift in how information was accessed. The emergence of giants like Google redefined expectations, emphasizing speed, accuracy, and user interface design. It was not merely a competition for market share, but a profound change in the very essence of searching for knowledge online. The transition from static web pages to dynamic content further enriched the digital experience, allowing users to engage with information in real time. As new players entered the market, they refined their approaches, incorporating artificial intelligence and machine learning into their systems. This integration led to predictive search capabilities and automated responses, fundamentally altering the relationship between users and information retrieval. The proliferation of mobile devices also catalyzed this evolution, enabling searches to occur anytime, anywhere, thus changing user behavior. While AltaVista's influence diminished, the search engine landscape thrived, adapting continuously to meet the demands of an increasingly connected world. Each iteration contributed to a more intricate understanding of information architecture, paving the way for future innovations. The evolution of technology has often been accompanied by the rise and fall of various companies, each offering unique insights into the complexities of market dynamics. Several failed tech entities showcase a commonality in their trajectory, often characterized by initial innovation followed by a gradual decline. These companies, much like the fading search engine, experienced moments of brilliance that resonated with early adopters, yet struggled to maintain relevance as demands evolved. In this region of technological history, firms such as Blockbuster and MySpace exemplify the consequences of stagnation. Both enjoyed immense popularity, yet their reluctance to adapt to changing consumer behaviors. Contrastingly, other companies, such as Nokia, faced challenges rooted in misalignment with market trends. The introduction of smartphones shifted consumer expectations, revealing a disconnect between established brand loyalty and innovative capability. Market leaders can falter when they underestimate emerging technologies or overestimate their current offerings. These failures serve as case studies in the delicate balance between innovation and adaptability, revealing that even industry giants can succumb to the relentless march of progress. The intersection of innovation and failure often reveals critical insights about the life cycle of technology companies. In the case of AltaVista, initial success was buoyed by groundbreaking search algorithms and an extensive database. Yet, as user expectations evolved, it became evident that maintaining relevance required more than technological advancement. The inability to pivot and embrace emerging trends led to stagnation, demonstrating that innovation alone cannot guarantee lasting success. This region of the technology landscape is marked by rapid evolution, where consumer preferences shift with little warning. Companies that once stood at the forefront are now relics, serving as reminders of the necessity for adaptability. The rise of competitors who understood and harnessed the power of user experience showcased a fundamental misstep in strategy. It illustrated how a singular focus on technological superiority can blind organizations to broader market dynamics. In the aftermath of AltaVista's decline, lessons emerge that resonate across various sectors. The need for continuous reassessment of market needs and the willingness to experiment with new paradigms become essential survival strategies. This fading company encapsulates a narrative that transcends its own history. It embodies the cautionary tale of how complacency in the face of innovation can lead to obsolescence, echoing through the corridors of corporate memory. The trajectory of this early search engine gradually descended into obscurity, a reflection of its inability to adapt to an evolving digital landscape. The rise of competitors, armed with superior algorithms and user-centric features, marked the beginning of a slow unraveling. Users increasingly gravitated towards alternatives that promised more relevant results and streamlined interfaces, leaving AltaVista to grapple with its diminishing relevance. By the year 2000, the once prominent brand found itself struggling to maintain its user base. This period was characterized by a series of unsuccessful attempts to reinvent itself, underscoring a profound disconnect between its legacy and contemporary expectations. The fading company became emblematic of an era when search engines were still in their infancy, yet it failed to evolve with the rapid advancements in technology and user preferences.